Hi guys, this time on Deep Junk. It's Wednesday, our middle of the week program, and I've got a car to show you and a couple others on the bench that are in progress, so we'll take a look at what we got here and get you up to speed. I'm going to start with this blue 65 Volkswagen Karman Ghia. This is a Johnny Lightning, and I've owned this car probably 4 or 5 years. I bought it on eBay. It was a Bear Zamek car, and very little was in the ad about the car. It was a buy it now. I think the shipping was more than what it cost to get the car. It was in Bear Zamek. There was no pictures of the underside, just of it up top. I like air-cooled Volkswagens, thought it was pretty neat, and I bought it. I've probably been drinking beer too that night, so I know, no excuses. But anyway, it's set in the box for quite a while. I got it out here maybe two, 3 weeks ago. Did the paint job on it, and I filmed some, and there just wasn't a lot of material to make a good video with. So I figured I would maybe save it for a Wednesday, and we could throw it in and show you the car then. Like I said, all I did was a paint job, some detail, basic freshening up. While I was on Facebook, I had gone on the Johnny Lightning Facebook page and asked about the car, if anybody knew of it or could tell me a bit more about it. And I did happen to talk to a gentleman who worked on that series of cars. His project was that series called the Sizzling 60s, and he said it certainly looked like one of those cars. Well, I gave him the numbers that were on the bottom, and he said, yeah, that was a Sizzling 60s car, that he was part of that deal. The chrome floor pan, the sport wheels with white walls. I think I know they were red out of the factory, but I don't know if there was a variation on the color or not. So he said a lot of times, because it's got screws in the bottom, he said a lot of times his models would walk out of the plant in someone's lunchbox and then be put together off-site. So it could have been something like that. At any rate, I liked the car, and so I got it out and painted it, and thought we could give it a look here on Wednesday. And that was the only thing I really did, was a paint job and some detail, a little freshening up. So that blue on it, the front little grill pieces in there, and the turn signals and that. Trim over the windows, basic door handles, got tail lights. Just a clean little car. There was no flash or anything on this body when I got it. There was nothing up inside when I took it apart. Just a clean one to do. I didn't like the color on it at first, but now the more I see it, the more I'm liking it, with the gray interior. I did a little dash detail and the shifter knob and stuff like that. The floor pan. And then I did blue center caps on the wheels to kind of pull it all together. So that is that one. Now I'll get you over on the bench, and we'll take a look at a couple upcoming projects. And on the bench this time is a couple of build-off cars. We've got a 77 Trans Am. This one's being built for Opaw's TV and movie car build-off. I've chose to do a 77 Firebird, like the one Jim Rockford drove on the Rockford Files. This one, I've just reverse engineered a Trans Am into a Firebird. Gone is the shaker scoop, the fender vents, T-top detail, and the rear spoiler. I like the looks of this car the best. It was bent right from the factory. If you notice inside, it's got that post in there on the black suspension piece. That's how that's held in. It's peened over, just like when they build put the bodies of the cars on. Unfortunately, when they do that with this car, it had hit right behind the transmission and hit it hard enough where it dented it, and then it knocked the base out of square. So the ass end of the car set up where it wasn't supposed to. The doors wouldn't open and shut right. Spent some time with the base. I've got it to where it's halfway flat now. The ass end's down where it's supposed to be. It measures the same on the rocker panels in an X side to side, and the wheelbase is the same. So that one's coming along. Next up, 69 GMC step side. This is for the shop truck build off or shop truck challenge, and that will be 1 week after OPAWS, Sunday, September 1st. This truck's an Ertl casting. It's basically a big piece of junk. It should have been thrown away. I should have hit it with a hammer and smashed it so it couldn't hurt anyone anymore. But the cab, at the top of the cab, it looked like it had tooling marks at the top, the A-pillar, and back here on the cab. Had smashed all the detail of the vent window and the upper door frame. So I took the vent windows out, cleaned it up in there, and did what like a lot of customizers do, get rid of that so that it uses one piece of glass instead of a window with a vent window. I did that on both sides. The doors, I've had a hell of a time getting those things to look right. They look like they were 3D. The truck had opening doors at one time, and it just when this casting was made, they're static, and they did look like they were 3D. They were humped up that high. The hood had a bad the body line on it, so I got rid of the body line and then laid the hood back a little bit. It was very high in the front. It looked like Frankenstein's forehead. Around back, I smoothed the tailgate, got rid of the tail lights. That bumper is going bye-bye, and we'll get it all smoothed out and customized in the back. A lot to do yet on the cab and the bed, so a little bit everywhere. Again, that's OPAWS TV and movie car. That's going to be on August 25th, a Sunday, and the next week the Shop Truck Challenge, Sunday, September 1st. Thanks everyone for tuning in on Wednesday. Check us out, see what we're doing. If you like it, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe, because there will be a lot of builds coming up here, the build offs, and I appreciate y'all for stopping. We will see you in the next one.